Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Embody podcast, a show about remembering and embodying your true nature, inner wisdom, embodied healing, and self-love. My name is Candice Wu, and I'm a holistic healing facilitator, intuitive coach, and artist sharing my personal journey of vulnerability, offering meditations and guided healing support, and having co-creative conversations with healers and wellness practitioners from all over the world. Hello and welcome to the Embody podcast. You're listening to the third of a series of 3 different meditations and healing exercises that are connected with the podcast episode called From Emotional Numbness to Wholeness. If you're interested in this episode and the exploration of emotional range, you can find this episode at candicewu.com/emotions. And now let's jump in today. In the podcast episode of the exploration of emotional capacity, I talked about a therapist that worked with me on what I believe she called the emotional switchboard. This is where I took about 10 of the main emotions and installed them in terms of my personal experience of embodiment of these emotions. What this did for me was give me the ability to identify easily what I was feeling, especially in experiences that I was processing from early life, which many of them were nonverbal. So I would like to offer this experience to you. First, just know that if you start to feel overwhelmed by this experience at any time, just stop. Notice your surroundings and let yourself come out of what we're doing together. It's okay to take a break at any time. Just pause the podcast and take that break. So what we will do in this practice is we will focus on one emotion, and you're welcome to repeat this practice for any emotion that you'd like to, but we'll focus on just one together. And with that one emotion, I will talk you through opening that up into feeling in the body, noticing any images that come with it, whatever colors, if there's any color that comes with your experience of that, and how it is that you personally experience that emotion. I'll guide you through imprinting that experience into your body and your nervous system and your awareness so that you can have a very easy sync with identifying that emotion when you do experience it in your life, or if you're processing it during a therapy or a healing session, or whenever that emotion comes up for you. So first, let's pick an emotion. Some ideas that I have for you, and the main ones that I did when I did the emotional switchboard, were happy, sad, angry, shame, embarrassment, fear, disgust, lust, surprise, excitement, and joy. There are so many more emotions out there that you can choose, so feel free to explore that at your own pace. And if you are pretty new to working with your emotions and feeling them in the body, then I would recommend definitely to do something that is more on the pleasant side, something like happy and maybe surprise or excitement, lust. You might pick something like joy or calm, anything that feels more pleasant. And if you're more well practiced with your emotions, you can also do something pleasant to start because that helps build the safety in the body, but gradually moving to something that feels challenging for you. So take a moment now and just breathe into your body and start to identify which emotion you'd like to focus on today. With the emotion you chose, open your awareness to the idea of that emotion. Let your body and your heart open up to this emotion. And let your mind open up to this emotion. Let yourself feel into whatever this emotion feels like in your body. And be open to any image that comes to you about what this emotion might look like if it had an image. Let yourself be curious and observing, as it might look like color or shapes or an object. It can be anything. And as you see what this emotion might look like to you, let it evolve until that picture seems to fit just right. And as you see that image, feel into your body and notice what sensations are happening in the body, where you're feeling any sensation at all. Notice the sensation and where it's located in the body. Check all the way up and down the body to feel where this emotion might be located for you, and just let it evolve and change as you feel into it. When you feel some sensation, start to notice if this sensation has a sort of feel to it, a texture, a way that the sensation is. Is it feeling achy, tingly, open? If there are any ways to describe it, just notice that. And just as a reminder, if you're doing a challenging emotion, it might be triggering or overwhelming, and take a break anytime. And even if you're feeling into a pleasant emotion, know that your body could feel that overwhelm as well or feel triggered, and just take a break and come out of it. And if you're continuing forward, take your hands on your thighs and just tap right fingers on your right thigh, left fingers on your left thigh, back and forth, just like we did in the first meditation together. And in this case, just doing a pace that's a little bit quicker. Right, left, right, left, as you feel into this image of the emotion that you chose, along with the body sensations and how your body is experiencing it. Now rest the hands and just check to see if the image has changed at all, or where the sensations are and if that's changed at all. Notice any movement that comes with. Now continue to do the tapping again at just that medium pace, and stay with the image, the emotion, the sensation, and any movement that comes. Just feeling into it, and again, letting it evolve if it evolves. The picture might change, the sensation might change. Just notice what it is now. And now rest the hands again. Take a breath, just letting all of it go. And when you come back to the image of the emotion that you chose, the sensations that come with it, the feeling sense, if it doesn't change anymore and it stays the same, then just stay with that experience and let it soak into your body. If it continues to change, perhaps the sensations or the image keeps on changing, just stay with that and keep letting it change until it seems like it comes to something more stable. And when it does feel like it's becoming a stable image and sensation or felt sense in the body, then take the tapping on your thighs and do it even slower. So right to left, right and left. And what I'll do now is just take a little bit of time and let you have some silence to let that soak in and install into the body. And take a break with your hands every so often and just rest. And feel free to do the tapping anytime you'd like to add in just a little bit more to deepen and expand into that experience. Now, as you're in your experience, just bring all of that together, the body sensation, the image of the emotion, the concept of that emotion, and any movement. And let yourself realize and identify that all together. And in your next couple of breaths, just let all of it go. Come back to just noticing your breath. And when you feel ready, give your body a little stretch or movement. Start to sense your surroundings. And if you had your eyes closed, feel free to open them and start to look around, just getting a sense of time and space being right here. So now you've installed one emotion, and you can check back with yourself to just see if you pull up that emotion, see what happens in the body. And over time, that will sharpen and refine. It might even change. But now you have another emotion that your body can identify with a little more ease, hopefully. As I mentioned before, you can feel free to return to this practice and do it over and over for any emotion that you'd like to, especially the ones that are a bit challenging for you. You might want to stretch and explore into. And the ones that are pleasant sometimes are the most challenging in my experience. With any of these meditations, if things come up, if you feel triggered or overwhelmed and not sure how to move through it, I am always here to support, so feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much for listening in today, and I hope this meditation series was helpful for you. Again, if you'd like to listen to the first podcast and the series thereafter, if you've just jumped into this meditation, you can find the podcast at candicewu.com/emotions. This concludes the meditation series and this podcast for today. So see you next time on the Embody podcast.